Hello everybody, I am Leena Vagote. In this video, we are discussing about the water resource engineering. The course code given to the above subject is 22501. Next, let's get started from the chapter 1, Introduction to Irrigation and Hydrology. The total marks given to this chapter 1 is 14. Next. Now we let's get started from the chapter 1, Introduction to Irrigation and Hydrology. Next is now we first starts from the syllabus content. In that irrigation and its classification on the basis of purpose and surface. In that what is irrigation system and how it works and what are the different classification of irrigation system based on the purpose and its surface. Next is hydrology, its definition and hydrological cycle. In that how the hydrological cycle works and it depends on the water. Next is rain gauge. Rain gauges are used to measure the average rainfall, and there are two types briefly explained in this topic, Siemens rain gauge and automatic rain gauge. Next are the methods of calculating the average rainfall. In that there are three methods explained: arithmetic mean, next is isoetal method, and third one is Thousand polygon method. Next content is runoff. Based on that factors affecting runoff and computation of runoff. After that, maximum flood discharge measurement. In that again there are two methods, rational method and empirical methods. And the last topic of the syllabus contains the yield and dependable yield of a catchment, and also determination of that dependable yield. Okay, next, introduction. In introduction, every living being requires water and air for their survival. Likewise, plants as well as crops also requires water. The requirement may vary from plant to plant and crop to crop and at the different time till their growth. The only source of water is rain, which fulfills this demand. But in India, the monsoon is not so faithful. Sometimes there may be a heavy rainfall causing floods, which damages and destroys the crops as well as plants. But sometimes there may not be rain at all the time. This creates the scarcity of water for the crops. So to overcome all these difficulties, there is a need of implementing various methods and measures to store the water during a period of excess rainfall and to use that water during the period of no rainfall or less rainfall. Okay. Next is various necessities of irrigation. So there are various factors which depends on the irrigation system. These are first is inadequate rainfall. So inadequate rainfall means insufficient rainfall. The irrigation system is not necessary in the areas where rainfall is insufficient for the proper growth of plants as well as crops. Second factor is uneven distribution of rainfall, means non-uniform rainfall distribution. The rainfall is unevenly distributed in the area because of several reasons. Rainfall depends on the various climatic features. For example, the presence of mountains affect the distribution of rainfall. The moisture-laden winds, when strikes the windward side of mountain, it causes the rainfall, but the places located on the leeward side of mountains get scarce rainfall, and the heavy rainfall is recorded in hilly as well as forested regions. Next, necessity of irrigation is growing to increase the yield of crop. So to increase the yield of crop, yield means it production. The yield of crop can be increased by providing the irrigation system even in the period of low rainfall or in the period of scarcity. Okay. Next is growing the superior crop and perennial crop. Some of the perennial crops requires water throughout the year, but the rainfall is not uniform in all the seasons of the year. Therefore, these crops cannot be produced perennially without water for all the seasons. For the proper growth and production of those perennial crops, irrigation is necessary. Next is the development of desert area or insurance against drought. The dry and desert areas can be converted to a cropland land if the irrigation water can be supplied as per the requirement. Okay. Next is the irrigation engineering. It deals with the investigation, planning, construction, management, and maintenance of all the structures which are connected with the irrigation, which includes dams, diversion weirs, wells, pumps, canal, masonry work, etc. Next, advantages of irrigation. In that, there are many advantages of irrigation system. First is the protection from famine. Uh, Food production is increased due to irrigation by providing more crops used as a food, and this protects a country from famine situation by giving the water and fulfilling the requirements of people during the scarcity period, and thus protects from the famine situation. Second advantage is increase in food production. It helps increasing the crop yields nearly for 2 to 4 times more yield than dry farming. Means in dry farming, uh, we can uh, provide 2 to 4 times more yield by providing irrigation system. More rounds of crops also to be taken, and fish production can be developed in the irrigation tank. Okay. Next, third advantage is rise in the social standards. With increase in the crop production due to certain supply of water, it makes it possible to grow the cash crops like banana, sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, etc. Thus, more money will be available with the farmers, which raises their standards of living. Next is flood control. So, the irrigation structures like reservoirs detain the floods for some time, means a reservoir controls the flood for the some time, and thus reduces the destructive power of that, and ultimately it helps in the flood control. Next is the generation of hydroelectric power. The projects designed for the irrigation can also be designed for power generation also, and the canal falls can be used for power generation. Next is domestic water supply. Irrigation helps in augmenting the water supply of town. Means due to irrigation, by providing the irrigation system, It increases the water supply of town, and this will creates where water is available with greater difficulty. Next is the inland navigation. So the irrigation system can also be used for navigational purpose if large irrigation canals are designed. Okay, if large irrigation canals are to be designed, then ultimately that large irrigation can also be used for navigational purpose. Next is afforestation. In that, along the banks of canals, trees may be planted which grows along the banks of canal and thus increases the timber wealth of our country. Next advantage of irrigation system is revenue generation. Due to direct taxes, revenue returns are sometimes so high which helps in development of our country. Next is the increase in facilities of communication. In that, the inspection path provided for inspection may provide good roadway to the villages, for example walking, cycling, and thus increases the facilities of communication also. And last one is elimination of mixed crop. In that, due to assured and regular water supply, a single crop can be sown and maximum yield can be obtained, and thus it eliminates the concept of mixed cropping. So what is mixed cropping? Mixed cropping means sowing the different crops together in the same field. Okay. The areas where irrigation is not assured, then mixed cropping is adopted. Mixed cropping is not desirable as different amount of water and field conditions. The farmers are not benefited. If the irrigation water is assured, then mixed cropping may be eliminated and the single superior crop may be grown to get the maximum benefits. The all are the advantages of irrigation. Next is the disadvantages or ill effects of irrigation. So besides the advantages, there are some disadvantages of irrigation also. In that, first is the raising the water table. In that, in inline irrigation canal, excessive seepage of water through bed and sides takes place which raises the water table of surrounding area. Soil in the root zone of crop is saturated and become alkaline, which is harmful to the crops, and thus the nearby area may be waterlogged. Second disadvantage of irrigation system is damp climate. By providing the irrigation system, it creates the clamp climate as a damp. So the temperature of command area of an irrigation project may be lowered and the damp climate prevails, which adversely affects the health of peoples living in that areas, and the irrigation may result in colder and damper climate causing the diseases like malaria. Due to excess application of water, seepage and leakage from the canal, marshy land may be formed which creates the diseases like malaria. Also it creates the mosquitoes. Okay. Next is over irrigation may leads to the water logging. Now and then third one is due to water logging, salt efflorescence occurs which directly damages the land permanently. Next, ecological imbalance. tendency towards the over irrigation and excess humidity are also the disadvantages or ill effects of this irrigation system. Okay, thank you.